What? What? What?
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. I don't want to tell you. Fuck me. That was woke. I mean, that was like maybe the wokest thing I've ever seen. That was. I'm trying to process how this is going to play out. It's so woke. It was actually quite good in a lot of areas as well. And it was so woke, right? It was. It was, it's so woke. Seriously, was it any good? I don't know. I don't want to tell you. It was so like it's like this is me, right? Watching Doctor Who, having a good time, watching the BAM! Woke! BAM! What? What's going on? I'm watching Doctor Who, watching BAM! Woke! Oh god, I'm watching good Doctor Who. First it felt like Doctor Who in a lot of ways. I mean, I wouldn't say very sophisticated Doctor Who. This is not your talents of Weng Chiang or your case of Androzani, right? Be aware. This is like the dumbest Doctor Who. It was very good, but it wasn't like it's a basic Christmas story episode feel, right? It's like but it's so woke. I can't believe how woke it. Now, one of the big problems is I made sure I didn't listen to anybody else's reviews. I'm trying to know what everybody else thinks, right? It like because it was very good in a lot of ways. I'm really intrigued to see what the reaction is going to be, right? I imagine a lot of the media, like the GBTV, the talk, was it Talk TV? They're going to be all over this and like savaging it because it's so woke, right? This is irredeemably woke. Yeah, I think again, somebody on Downstream said that Doctor Who in 2023 had become an exercise in how much irritation you can excuse. Right? And then don't you devils! I'm gone. Right? But it's so this was like this is the me. By the end, oh god, it was so woke. We'll go through everything in detail, right? We're gonna spoil the fuck out of it. It's so woke. I know I may be repeating myself, but that's really good. I'm going to go into extreme detail about why it was so woke. It was so woke. I'm badly woke, and I would say immorally and dangerously woke, right? Mixed in with a fun Christmas Day Doctor Who. That's basically what it was. Again, don't expect an intricate story here. This is very, very, very simplistic, right? And very cringe. Many places. Very cringe, right? Where do we begin? I don't know, but look, we're gonna have to have a debate about transgender, about being non-binary and transgender, right? I don't think Russell wanted a debate. I think Russell wanted to lecture us and tell us what's permissible to think, because this was certainly can be legitimately described as an extremely biased advertising campaign for being transgender. Right? Extremely biased one. And I think that'll be a fair description. I mean, it's also Doctor Who. but it was very much a party political pop broadcast on behalf of the LGBTQIA debate. I think you want to just shout me into silence, right? Listen, if what I'm saying is wrong, tell me where I'm wrong, and don't tell me I'm immoral for asking the question, and then say and pretend you don't. You're doing that just to avoid answering the questions, right? I'm sorry, it's like Rusty Davis is reacting to a prejudice that it doesn't exist, and the reaction to it is actually created that prejudice, right? It's like it's like nobody really cared about trans kids, trans people, right? Do what you want, right? Until they said no, you must educate your children that this is a good thing to do. Like, don't tell me how to raise my kids. You have your beliefs. That's fine. That's your beliefs. I happen to disagree with you. I think you're wrong for very good reasons, right? But beyond my personal feelings, there are all these legitimate questions you need to answer, which haven't been answered. You want to have the debate? We'll have the debate, right? Don't call me a fascist for asking you very reasonable questions on your very questionable ideas, right? I'm sorry. I think these are very reasonable questions. Right? And it's not born out of hate at all. It's born out of a fear that you are taking a sexual kink and represent that's a sexual kink enjoyed by a very small minority of the population, and saying that is in fact a normative sexual identity. And I don't believe you're correct. All right. I mean nobody any harm. If anybody has what I believe that kink is, let them live out their life how they want. Right. I'm certainly not me to dictate. Right. I think it's a bad idea. Right. I think it's a bad idea. For several reasons. Right. I think it's bad for them. Right. Just if somebody wanted to live out their life as a fish person, right? As a furry, right? As a baby, as people do nowadays. It's not good for them, right? It's not good for them. You are who you are, right? And you need to accept who you are, right? And you know, fine. Look, we'll get into it when we talk about the story, right? I mean, there is what to talk about. We finally saw the new TARDIS. Very underwhelming. I have to tell you, very underwhelming. It's exactly what those guys predicted, right? That I use on my thumbnails all the time. Very underwhelming. I have to open up my thumbnail. New titles were good. Theme tune also somewhat underwhelming. Oh, I'm in the wrong bloody program. I went to Premiere. I went to go to Photoshop. Photoshop beta. There we go. So, right, Photoshop beta's got all these cute, cool AI tools built into it, which I really like. Second, let me zoom in. Yeah, I'll share with the world the magic, right? Now I know what I should have done with this thumbnail here. Think. Here's what I should have done with this thumbnail, right? They all should have this a speech balloon come out, and it's just say trans rights are human rights. Trans rights are human. Like everybody just say that. Trans rights are human rights. Really, I didn't get your subtle messaging, darling. Okay, let's see if I can find this TARDIS control room. Let me turn off the text. Doink. And the time. Doink. And it's this is from the previous one. There you go. Look at that bit of AI. Stretch that out, darling. Whoa, there you go. I'm always ready for a bit of TNA, darling. What can I tell you? But here, not right now. Doink. Doink. Sorry, Millie, you gotta go, darling. Gotta go. Where's my backgrounds? There you go. 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. There you go. I found it. Doink. It's virtually identical to what was heavily predicted. Where'd it go? Oh, well, now I got so many layers. There you go. Doink. I mean, like, it's virtually identical to what these lads did. Here, let's kind of shrink that down. So these guys totally nailed it. they totally. I mean, their version's actually better in a lot of ways. So to tell you, it's better in a lot of ways. Very underwhelming. The TARDIS. Their version is better, actually. Man, that's a very good point. Their version is way better. Anyway, there you go. There you go. I mean, the question is, what's the reaction this going to be like? My gut instinct is bad, right? But that's because, you know, I want my biases to be reflected in the world around. I want that confirmation bias, right? I make no bones about that, right? Yeah, you know, it's but I just happen to think it is, right? I think there's really good. I think Russell Davies really shot himself in the foot. I don't know. We'll find out when the reviews come out, right? I imagine they're going to be not good in a lot of ways, right? I imagine that's what's going to go down. I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't. It's so woke. It's a bit stunning how woke it is. It's like it's broken my woke meter. I saw that RIP Doctor Who is trending. That's not good. That's super not good. I mean, I don't know. Again, that might just be confirmation bias, but that can't be good. I'm sorry. R.I.P. Doctor Who. Fuck me. I don't know. That can't be good. Millie wasn't in it, sadly. Transfer for human rights. Yeah, really? I didn't know. No, transfer for human rights. Yeah, I know, but you have to shout it so loud. Yes! We have to shout it loud all the time. Okay. Nobody. I don't want right. What you don't have the right that people think it's not normal. You're a girl with a penis. Yeah, you don't have that right. You're right. I'm sorry, darling. You don't have the right for people to not go, oh, that's weird. You're a chick with a dick, right? Yeah, I think that's a very normative response. That's non-hateful. Because, you know, it's a little bit surprising because you're certainly a girl. No one's saying you're not a girl, and you got a penis, right? I mean, it's I tell you, darling. I think people are allowed to go, well, that's a bit odd, right? Without being called racist, right? And that's really the extent of it. As far as I understand, I mean, I'm sorry we don't. But I think you're more upset that we don't believe you. We don't share your worldview. I don't think you're a woman trapped in a man's body. I think you're somebody who has found gratification in many ways from assuming your sexual identity. Right? I'm not saying in a negative way. I don't think this is a healthy route for over 99% of people. And so therefore, healthy, I just don't. And if you can show me that it's fine, but there's just so much to talk about in this. I think you're forcing your views on others. Yeah, I think look, this was more on your nose, more on the nose than the example of Dr. Stu I give, Father Stu. Imagine the doctor picks up a priest, a Catholic priest companion, Father Stu, really nice guy. Everybody loves Father Stu, right? And he keeps giving over very Christian-centric messaging in a positive manner, right? You would if Rusty Davies would be pissed the fuck off if you did that all the way through Doctor Who. Say, why have you hijacked my show for your Christian sermonizing? And I would think he would be right in that, frankly. But in the same way, if I can say it to Rusty Davies, I can also say it to you, right? Like what is up with all the sermonizing? And there was so much of it in the episode. It wasn't unnoticeable. It was integral to the episode. It really was. It was the entire center of the episode. So I'm just kind of blown away, right? If you're paying attention, it's hard not to miss that messaging. And I just don't know what the reaction is going to be to that. I think the action is going to be way different than Russell suspects, right? I think way different. I think he's going to be asked to justify his views. I think he's going to be dragged into debate when he tried to dogmatically tell us how things are. Yeah, and the reason that he started what's essentially a fight is because he's portrayed those who don't share his viewpoint as doing so for the worst reasons, because they're hateful and evil. They act like there's no legitimate questions into certainly underage transgenderism, right? Like transgender was it gender affirming care? I'm sorry. There are many questions upon that very new medicine, right? And it seems to be the people who benefit most from it are the pharmaceutical companies. You know, we're going to talk about detransitioners and how they were rushed into transition when it wasn't right for them, right? And that handled up. There's a lot to talk about with this. I'd rather be talking about Doctor Who. I'd rather be talking about Meet the Beep, who I thought was quite good. I mean, it would be. All right, let's get the chat, and then we'll get into the episode. Paul Towson there, Dean Paul Towson. The official death of Doctor Who, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go down, right? I hope it's going to scare off a good number of viewers. I think we're going to see a sharp decline between this week and next week. And I get a feeling the next 2 weeks aren't going to be very woke. All right, this was super woke. I don't even think they realize they're being woke. That's how woke they are. Matteo comes here and says he didn't see it yet. That's why, dude, we're going to spoil it in such detail. You got to run, baby. Okay, we're going to spoil it in such detail. Fly Highlander today, doing Fly Highlander. Not going to say anything, not to spoil it, but you know, I don't know what to say about it. You saw how, yeah. I mean, it's like preachy, very preachy. It was also quite good. I mean, I can tell you, the action adventure was very good. Like the Wrath Warriors, I always call them Wraith Warriors. The Wrath Warriors were attack on beating. They looked fantastic. It looked like such a classy production, an expensive production, right? You saw that extra budget on screen. Absolutely, doodly. Right, Meet the Beep looked fantastic, and he's got to be coming back with shooting. The money they put into realizing Meet the Beep, who's such a brilliant villain. I mean, really was he? He was a brilliant villain. Very stupid, but that's the level of the episode. It's just dumb fun, right? With unbelievable wokeness keeps smacking you across the face. Woke, woke. I'm sitting there watching Doctor Who and something down. Some woke, woke, woke. I'm fuck off. I'm trying to watch something. Woke, woke, woke. Fuck. No. Oh, fuck me. Oh. I was supposed to come out with a positive view of the trans world because of that. Really? Are you kidding me? No. You've just given a negative view of the trans world as insane bullies who's just attacked me. Oh, fuck's sake! All right, we'll get to it when we break down plot. Man, okay, I predicted Meet the Beat was going to be an analogy for people who like don't judge a book by its cover. Like, what's inside that counts. Nothing that subtle. Oh boy, if only it was that subtle. Holy crap! It was very good. And I was just stupid, but fun, charming way. I don't know. A lot of it was stupid in a fun, charming way. Right? You hear me processing it as we're actually going like. But then again, you just get getting snapped in the face by the message. Whoa! People who use wheelchairs are people too. It's just weird, okay? Weird. Oh. Anyway, I couldn't do it in the chat. That's what I was doing. I forgot. I got distracted by how woke it was. It was like watching a nuclear explosion of woke. Like woke that you like Christian couldn't be this woke. This takes skill and talent to be this insanely woke. Oh man, and a total lack of awareness and connection to the audience that you think people won't notice your subtle messaging. This is not going to go down well. I don't think it's going to go down well. All right? I think people are pissed the fuck off. I think you could get Dylan Mulvaney over this. And fuck me, would I be up for that? Listen, I wouldn't join the boycott, but fuck me, would I watch it? And would I laugh? I think, listen, who knows? People might not notice, but they could get Dylan Mulvaney. Fuck me. They could get Bud Lighted, I should say. Right, Bud Light famously went down in flames because they decided to use Dylan Mulvaney to advertise through. Right, very weird. Boy, so was that? I was at Tom in the chat. Tom, I should say. I really wanted to be good, but yeah, we're all there. PD Richards, to me, Russell, they've committed 3 counts of cultural vandalism in the space of a week. But yes! And I hate to tell you, I supported the Daleks idea, but man, I just got a good copy of it. I started watching it back and I go, oh, that's shite. Oh. And it is, I'm sorry. Fuck me, they spent a year on that. Oh, time badly spent. Sadly. I like the pacing of it. I like the idea of it. But whew, man, it's rough. Man, it wasn't good. Man, so I was done before it was even broadcast. I'm glad I didn't have this on pre-order. Thank God. It was at a garbage, says Matthew Burrows. It was like we're taking the piss. Tenet was awful. I thought Tenet was Tenet. I thought Tenet was at standard Tenet. Nothing weird about, I don't know how it was being. Well, there's me in the chat. David Hammond's there. Sat through the whole thing. Hopefully see Bernard Cribbins, and they tease it throughout. No, you're seeing Bernard Cribbins, and Toy Maker, and was it Bernard Toy Maker, and Answers to Wise David Tennant again, and Shooting Cat Work. It's all coming in the giggle. Like all that stuff is coming in the giggle, right? I think my guess is they're going to some alternate realm, right? And they wake the Toy Maker or something up, bring him back with them or something like that. I don't know. I think they'll deal with Flux, thing with Canon and Timeless Child, all that stuff by them, right? Garden says back it amazing best blue face smiling face blue smile. I don't understand. And he squirmed on the rainbow. Okay, well, I don't know what any of that means. In getting the whole Meet the Beep story ebbed away to be taken by some. Yeah, totally taken over by it, says Ian Getting. I agree with you completely. Michael Parsons says the dialogue such as the pronoun segment should have been thrown out as was not needed. No, it was so needed. That's the point in the episode. That was the air. All right, it was to preach to you badly. The Donna Silver conversation should have been shorter. Yes, said once. I'm not going to be. No, over and over again. You're right. I did over and over again, and then it became the central focus. It's beyond belief, right? Real Super Doctor is here doing Real Super Doctor. That was not good. It really wasn't. I wouldn't be able to say it's good. I mean, there was like lots of class, lots of money, lots of things that were good that I liked. But like just kept getting hit in the face by the message. Right? I just Russell. No, okay. Nobody was attacking trans people before this. Now they're like, why are they fucking taking over my Doctor Who? Was giving Who another chance because of the Abomination Chimney era. Wish I hadn't bothered. Yeah, and I do think I'm sticking with it. I want to see where it's going. It's but fucking hell. Definitely a few facepalm moments in there. Did feel more Disney as well. Yeah, definitely did. I agree with you, David Hammond. I know it was real, but the TARDIS looked CGI to me. It kind of did. Right? Pretty proud of not really being a part of the episode. It was kind of boring, the TARDIS, in the end. I tell you, Ethan Burkheimer is here. Colin Knight is here. So when I skim through how much it will actually be worth, when I skim through how much will actually be worth it, I think it's if you've loved Doctor Who, it's worth seeing. Is an interesting thing. Meet says Jonathan Cox. Mark the Vicar is here. Mark McCambridge is here. I like it a bit. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, I think everybody liked it a bit, and then they just get Kevin kicked in the balls by the LGBT. Like, no, boom. But oh fuck! I was just watching Doctor Who. Oh, he's kicked in the balls again. How do you out of here? Could have done with without all the trans crap. That was the point of the episode, right? They couldn't have done without it. All right, and it was a good episode otherwise, right? It really was. But man, there was so much of it, right? It's not easy to like edit that one out, as it was the denouement of the whole bloody thing. The General Grievous 19 says hello there. Hello, General Grievous 19. That was Matthew Smart, if I didn't say. Liam Nelson's chin is it. I will find you, and I will kill you. When I was growing up, all of my favorite franchises were Escape from Reality. Now in 2023, there's not one of them where they don't shove modern day ideologies and other Gen Z crap. Yeah, exactly. I wish they were just more. Here's the thing. I think they're very unconfident about their gender identities, right? I think they're very like unsure about it. And I think that's why they need to shout it so loudly, right? Because I don't need to shout I'm heterosexual constantly. Right? I don't need there to be heterosexuality in Doctor Who. There never was before. And what we had the Aztecs. That was the most sexual the Doctor got. Was there another time? When did Doctor? I can't remember the time when Doctor got romantic. Certainly, while making City of Death, Lala Ward on camera looked like she definitely wanted Tom Baker to fuck her hard. Right? I would say that was true. So that spilled out a little bit, but you know, maybe it's some kind of Time Lord Pom Far thing. I don't know. It's yeah, but you know, other than that, like, I'm fine without there being heterosexuality in Doctor Who. No, I mean, like, it got as the sex it got is Leela marrying Andred, right? And that's fine. Sorry, Rabbi. Don't apologize for enjoying it. There was a lot that was enjoyable about it. Again, all the big budget explosion stuff, that was great. Right? That was great. I mean, that was great. It was great. Wrath Warriors were great. They really were, right? They really, really were. Evil Meat was great, right? The change from good meat to evil meat. Yeah, no, that was great. I agree with you. Them taking over the unit soldiers, I like the new unit. But the unit Sarah Bingham, the unit scientific advisor, with like her special wheelchair, it's just so God, agonizingly woke. No one had a problem with wheelchair users. I mean, really, nobody did. It's like saying you have a problem with people who wear glasses. Some people need to use a wheelchair. Okay. Who gives them shit? Who's giving somebody shit for using a wheelchair? That person's a dick. Right? Not like what is this prejudice against people in wheelchairs? I don't get it. I don't get it. What is it? I've never met anyone like that. Have you? Is that a common thing? Oh, people in wheelchairs, yeah, they're scum. We should make camps for them. Who said that? I don't know. That's crazy. But that's how he's acting. Like, look, Russell, mate. Here's something you need to do. Look in the mirror and say, I was wrong about Donald Trump. That's what you need to do. You say, I was that's the heart of it. You say, I was wrong about Donald Trump. Things were much better when he was president. The economy was much better. World peace was much better. Everything was better. Everybody's lives were better, measurably so. The world was a happier place, a better place. Right? I was wrong about everything. All the corruptions I screamed about, that actually did happen with Joe Biden. I was wrong. Yeah, once you can do that, you can get over the woke mind virus. Right? And it's just like those facts have broken these people. That they lost the culture war. This is Russell coming back in to fight the culture war. The war's over. Like, why are you bothering us now? Like Disney too. Like the embarrassing shit you're putting out there, the Marvels. Look, the war's over. You lost it. It lasted until people noticed what you were doing. I think they're probably going to notice this. But the culture war's over and you have lost. You've lost control. And you're never getting it back. Right? I'm sorry. Saying women, generally speaking, don't have penises is somewhat strange when they do. In fact, they may not even be women if they come with a penis, right? That's not hateful, right? I'm sorry that you think it is, but it's not hateful. Yeah, so Limnus, I agree with you completely, right? I do agree with you completely. Glenn Viper, it was okay in the first part when I thought it was a 3-hour special. Didn't like the spilling coffee. That was silly at the end. There was look, it was a very silly, rompy, mindless thing, which I don't criticize it for that. I think it's kind of fun for that. I like a lot of that. I like it in a Christmas special, right? And it felt like a Christmas special, like a very big, bombastic Christmas special. It could have been absolutely decent, but they sprinkled the pronoun dialogue and all the non-binary statements. Yes, exactly. They could have had the next Doctor, and instead they had, I don't know, arachnids in the UK. It was better than arachnids in the UK, but it was like, it's like you're not really going to want to go back to or remember, right? Really, absolutely not. Negative sense is it. How you doing? From the right, hope you're doing well, Rabbi. Bang. Thank the good Lord, I am doing very, very well. Avram Ishalom is here. Oh, hello from Haifa. How are you in Haifa? I thought it was a good episode of Doctor Who, but I felt like every 5 minutes they had to show it. So woke. Yes, I was watching Doctor Who, and they kept hitting me over the head like, "Oh, here's a woke, boom, woke, fuck." It didn't feel natural. It wasn't natural at all. But that's exactly what it was. This continue, laid on a perfectly serviceable episode of Doctor Who with a lot of fun. So Mark McCain will talk about the new console. We'll talk about that. Real Super Doctors here. The BBC put the action line out after. I mean, for fuck's sake, how about putting an action line for straight white people? Like, I just feel the media is like presenting me as being a minority when I'm really a vast majority. Why are they doing that? Can they stop doing that? Because it's a bit weird. It's freaking me out a bit. I have to tell you. I felt like the whole meat stuff was discarded once it used basket to get onto the non-binaries. I agree with you, but I do think the Meet the Beat will be back, right? I think Shooty will be facing Meet the Beat, and I think it'll be a big deal when he does, because yeah, look, I just think it's a thing that's gonna. I think they put way too much money in making this thing. Frankly, like it takes 8 people to operate. It's huge and it looks fantastic, right? I do think Meet the Beat will be back. I really do. And well done. Well, I was in the chat. So Dash Tom Dash says there was glimmers of the original quality throughout, just constantly drowned out by the stupid. Yes, and it really was. It was that, like, oh man. Honestly, again, it's the woke mind virus, right? It makes people stupid, right? It does. It made Rusty Davis stupid. Leah Raymond says, but you need to tell us, Dash Dash, was it woke? It was a little bit woke. It was, yeah, I did notice a bit of wokeness in it. Short E is here. It's laughably woke. I mean, like, you don't really know what to. What? How is anything that woke? And it was like the. And it did. And the funny thing is, it was so woke, he didn't realize it was woke. It was like. It was like the Little Britain sketch where he's like, I am the only gay in the village. And they're like, yeah, it's fine. Have some cock. Everyone's fine with it. And he was acting like he was being oppressed. That's exactly what this is like. You know very well I'm the only gay in the village. I've seen girls said it was preachy. It didn't need the woke stuff, but it didn't stop me enjoying it. Probably mostly because the Doctor and Donna County. Absolutely correct. I agree with you completely. It did stop me enjoying it because they just was so much woke. Cal Lynch is there. How you doing, Cal Lynch? Thank you for joining us. Gary Bryant is here. Colin says, of course he doesn't want to debate. He wants, he might have listened to contrary argument. We have very legitimate things to ask. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not going to accept this mindlessly. This is like, I mean, these are real questions. Like, what happens to women's sports? What happens with women's spaces, right? Why are women without penises? Why are their rights lesser than women with penises? Why can't there be a women without penises space? Right? That doesn't seem to be wrong. But moreover, why am I forced to adopt your insane language? All right, and it just is. It's nuts. That's why you scream it so loudly, because it's just nuts. All right, I'm sorry. Like, you need to imagine that the war was being run by Mormons and they were screaming that you were oppressing them. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not oppressing. I know, no, but I'm just not a Mormon. No. Put on your holy garments. I think that's what they call them. And do the Mormon shit. I'm like, I don't even know what they do. Doesn't matter. You got to do it now. But I don't want no. Let people be their own people. Trouble is, if they are, they're not going to adopt your ideology. That's the bottom line. That's why the screaming. That's why the bullying, which is what this was. Drawing Jet Rabbit is here. He is no longer Doctor Who fan. He is sorry. I know, it's sad, right? It's sad. President Lemon is here. In the name of Davros, what is that? Oh, woke shit. Like, it actually made the wokeness of the super wheelchair, which was so cringe. The wokeness of the super wheelchair. You don't really notice that because it was so woke about the non-binary things, right? It was unbelievably woke. London say because Rose is non-binary. Lucky, I know. Oh, God, I could. No, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Fine. I'm getting through the chat so we can actually get to the episode. Little Reagan, I think I said hello to you. There we go. David Munn definitely said hello to you. Yes, inbuilt tea maker, but the console isn't remotely waterproof. I know. That's a very good point. Problem being is here. I smell Fallout. It was a bit woke. I might not mention that. It's very woke. What are the bollocks that was, says Father Miller. Father Miller, I cannot disagree with you. I would invite you on, but I'm afraid your swear jar would end up being far too big. Nancy hasn't seen it yet, so I shouldn't expect a return to the degree of good. No, it is very good holiday Doctor Who, right? It's also very woke, right? Them two things are true. Then about the trans right, as trans rights are human rights beings and already have human. I know, yeah, exactly. What rights do trans people not have? For me to believe that sex is defined by your belief, no, it's not. Okay, that's not. You don't have the right to tell me what to think, and you don't have the right to call me a bigot because I don't share your worldview, right? I'm sorry that you think you do, but you don't. And that you think you do is not good, right? It's not good for anyone. Lucy Meow is here. How you doing, Lucy Meow? Looks very 70s. Well, I think that's because that was the source material. It looked great. It did look fantastic. And the battle between the Wrath Warriors and Beat the Meat was excellent, right? And the Doctor doing shields to get them out of all that stuff was great. No, that all looked good. It was executed fantastically. Good for that. Yeah, look, I'm not going. Here's the thing. I think its detriments are so massive. I don't have to pretend it has ones that it doesn't. It looked fantastic. The chemistry between David Tennant and Catherine was still there. The pathos they had between them, the love they had, that was all still there, right? It was very, very woke, though, yeah. Who was there? Somebody was talking about the TARDIS. Little Three talking about the TARDIS was a massive disappointment, right? It really was like, that's the TARDIS? Really? It's a big room, right? I mean, like, that's it. It's a big room. I agree with you. It's a big room, but it's a big room, right? I essentially, it's got some doors in a big room. I'm sorry, you built this thing up and up and up. I mean, like, oh, it's going to be mad and impossible. Why? You did it. It's right there. It's not even that complicated. It's not like an Escher painting, right? It's like look normal, right? Yeah. Carlos Godwise is an 18. Carlos Godwise. Never say hello to your Rumble. Always feel bad about that. DC is here. Being angry that something made by a gay man with Disney money has trans stuff in it is like being angry there's a black people in the NBA. It's a bit silly. One rainy day doesn't make a flood. This was very rainy. Yeah, I do think next week isn't going to be woke though. Weirdly enough, right? Weirdly enough. Peter says I hit now dub the Doctor Who key. What's Doctor Who key? Is that like Godzuki? That was Godzilla's little baby nephew thing in the cartoon. Yeah. I mean, it was a very good Doctor Who episode with a big black hole sucking off woke all the way through it. Right. When the woke bit came off screen, it turned it. I turned it off. I don't want Doctor Who destroyed by a box ticking woke buggery. I don't think it's box ticking. I think it's actually what they wanted to do. Was any good? Yes, and awful at the same time. Is the answer. So I think every other, but it's. I think it's. I'm intrigued to know what the fallout's going to be. Right, I'm like what I can't wait to see the reviews of the normies, which is where it's really at, right? And let's say maybe the TikTok generation liked it. It was just so agonizingly woke, right? In fact, Raymond Williams, I did Raymond Williams as a Battle 66. I've nearly caught up with the chat, right? I'm nearly caught up with the chat. It's supposed to be an old machine that's outdated. It looks like a brand new sports car. I think they're going back to a Hartnell look, right? So there's you happy I'm watching this, so you don't have to. One of my problem with the new TARDIS is it was seemingly no ambient noise. My volume was. I think there was actually. I think there was ambient noise, right? It's just like it was a big room. Again, it wasn't. It didn't impress me. Ruby said it was whimsical and mediocre. And that was being kind, even without the messing. I would say I give it 4 for the Meep and the Wrath Warriors. But the awful dialogue knocks it down to 1. Was that out of 10 or out of 5 is a question. That's it's still, yeah. I mean, like when you add it all together, it's not good. Right. Syrian Eldret is here. I'm watching Remember the Daleks. Oh, that is also Remember the Daleks. I love Remember the. I was saying in my stream earlier, I remember the day Remember the Daleks. I'm being excited all day because I just knew it was going to be good. This was exactly as I thought it would be. I mean, really, on my DVD tomorrow and having a big Finish marathon for the rest of the week. Rusty has lost my support for the New Who. Yeah, I can hear that. So is it good? When you add it up, no. There were certainly good elements to it, but no. Right? I don't know why Donaldson didn't recognize Tenement at the start. I don't think they ever met, did they? Then halfway through, he acts like he knows him. I can't even remember. TARDIS time was any good? Yeah. No, Geronimo.mp3 said Donna should have died. The death of Donna being a pivotal plot point for the rest. I mean, like in the end, but the stupidness about why it was okay because of a non-binary. Oh God. Steve Brighton is here. Over the top, but completely underwhelming. I'm sorry. Did you presume we did? I know. It's so annoying, right? Carbis is here. How you doing, Carbis? All the time spent on pushing propaganda could have been spent on other things. I agree with you, and would have been better for spending on other things. Quite frankly, but if they didn't, then it'll be half an hour long. like getting David's new Sonic. Yeah, we didn't actually see that yet, right? Or why they're getting a new TARDIS. Like, we didn't see any of that. Donna actually doing things for charity on camera rather than just telling us. Cameron Crash Course here. Had to stay away for a minute. Was watching Gary as well. His reaction on the member stream spoke volumes. He thought it broke his glasses at one point. It's woke, right? It's very, very woke. It's true, said Barney, and Rose said, non-Barney, non-Barney, non-Barney. No. Oh, don't. Paul Brennan, Doctor Who needs to lead the Pandaverse. Oh, it's well and truly in the Pandaverse, right? Because the people making it are the pandas, right? That's why it's in the Pandaverse, because the people making it are indeed the pandas. Have I caught up with the chat? Fine, I've caught up with the chat. Let's what was it? Take the Dr. Woke. Yes, it is Dr. Woke. Fine. I guess Peter Rich was explaining it. Very good. Fine. So let's talk about what this episode was, right? So we've all seen it in the trailers. The TARDIS turns up. There's no connective tissue to the Jodie era whatsoever. And they mention her in passing, which that I think is a very acceptable way to go. But they there's really no connection to the Jodie era at all. Doctor turns up. He's opened up the TARDIS. Now, unlike the Davros short, you can't see the interior of the TARDIS. It's black, right? And he gets out and goes for a walk around. He's in Camden Market. Okay, everybody likes a bit of Camden Market. And hey, wonderful, lovely time. And then bumps right into a woman with packages. Who else with packages? Turns out to be Donna Noble. And Donna Noble's got a daughter who's very noticeably a man. And if you didn't notice she was a man right away, you would have when they drew attention to it relentlessly, right? So she's just a wonderful, lovely girl. Oh, with a penis. Because I think it's both. It's always worth reiterating. It's a woman with a penis because they do reiterate that a lot, right? And she's selling fuzzy animals in Camden Market, and Donna's helping her, I think, or something like that. They're getting more googly eyes, right? And the doctor turns up, and the doctor sees that Donna said, "Oh, I can't stay. Gotta go." Because they had a recap at the beginning, which I thought was kind of weird. Like, with the 14th Doctor talking about Donna, about how she can't remember anything or she'll die, right? So that was, I forgot about that. Then it was, they bump into each other, and then there's a giant spaceship crashing. You all saw that from the trailer. As that's happening, Donna's looking away, repacking the packages, and she always misses like these things. Because if she sees anything, she will die, right? As they keep telling us, right? Disaster, is it? How you doing, Disaster? Disaster. That should be Rusty Davis's name right now. Fine. So there's fine. So they see a what's the name? What's it called again? A giant spaceship crashing. Honestly, now I'm thinking about this. This does have a vibe of a Doctor Who comic strip, right? It really does. I mean, I'm more of a modern day one. I can see it being drawn by like Martin, was it Garrity, right? That sort of era, right? But yeah, I could totally see that. Fine. So anyway, the then Donna goes off with Rose. And he's like, what? Why do I have this face? I don't know. What? And he goes and sees that Donna's husband, whatever his name is a taxi driver, and gets her to take him to the what's it called again? The alien crash site, which is in a metalworks. And they talk a little bit about how Donna won all the money, but she gave all that money away. And And she keeps saying about how she's like, she knows something's missing. She has something lovely. I thought lovely, but now it's gone. Right. Anyway, so they well, yeah. So he makes it the crash site, and units there showing up in force, right? And they got a the Sarah Bingham, the unit scientific advisor, who is a wheelchair user. You know, they don't only mention it every time she's on screen, and they literally do, right? They literally do. And she's super cool, and she meets the doctor. And they're trying to work out what was going on with the spaceship, and apparently it didn't crash; it landed. Right. And there's a was an escape pod that got out near Donna's house. Oh, here we have a recreation of Fudge from the comics. The comic version of Fudge was way better than this version, which was a total dweeb. Right. I did not like this like little kid version of Fudge. And they go and they so yeah, they say there's like they see in like this escape pod, and that's when Rose finds Meet the Beep. Oh, I forgot to say, when Doctor's on their way home from wherever it's carrying the boxes, there's some boys from a school who like goes, T-boy, or J-boy, something boy, I can't remember. Right? And like, you know, again, you got to understand, I don't think it's like that, right? I think if you think it's like that, you have to show me. But I don't think it's like that, right? I think it's more like people like me going, yeah, I don't think that you are a woman, right? It's like totally different, right? And I'm not saying it to be evil, right? And I mean, look, here, do I have this clip? I think I got this video. Hang on. It's worth bringing in now. Yeah, okay. This is a good illustration. Why don't you let children choose their own gender? That's a very good question.
$10,000 cash, or wait a minute, this 2 out of the box Oreo cookies. Huh? Are you sure? That's $10,000 cash. Do you want the Oreo cookies? Are you sure? Yes. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, honestly, that's the case, right? The idea that it's healthy for children to choose their own sex, and anybody who doesn't go along with it is bullying you, is ludicrous. This could be something very, very dangerous, right? I think, yeah, they keep saying, oh, there's such a high suicide rate with the transgender people. Could that be because they're mentally ill? Right, and them, you know, presenting as a gender that's not of their own. Could that be a reason for that, rather than, you know, intolerance of society? I am sorry, you're not going to get me to agree with you about your insane worldview. At least I'm happy to have the conversation with you. Right, but yeah, like again, serious questions. What do you do with women's sports? Right, why is Riley Gaines' experience acceptable? How do we stop that happening? How is the how are you sure that people aren't abusing this to fulfill a sexual kink, which actually I think they are a lot of the time, right? There's also again, I'm not the one bringing up this conversation, right? I am not the one bringing up the conversation. This is Russell T Davis. Like, why are all these mass shooters trans? Right? And I'm not saying all trans people are mass shooters. I'm saying, why are all these mass shooters trans right now? I think because it's a comorbidity, right? And I'm not being hateful to you, right? And I'm saying that, I'm not saying that with glee or I'm laughing and pointing at you. I think it's a comorbidity, right? And if it is, you know, why are we treating it like it's not? It's it's very crazy. And again, why is there no debate about this allowed? Right? So I don't really believe there's much bullying going on. Right? I mean, it might be some. I don't know. Right? I really don't know. I don't think there is. Fine. Well, that's it. So they so Meet the Beep is hiding out with Rose, and Donna finds Meet the Beep and goes, what are you marching at? That's excellent. Right, there's a bit with Meat holding onto Donna's leg, and he has Silver saying, no, it's not real, you don't see anything. That, again, excellent. Right? It's not intellectual. This is not a challenge of Weng Chiang, right? This is not Ghostlight, right? This is very simplistic, big holiday Doctor Who, right? Essentially, this is, yeah. Meanwhile, the unit troops, they're going to enter the spaceship, right? And the woman in the wheelchair can't go up because she's in the wheelchair. So don't let me stop you. Off you go. And off they go. And they get taken over by this psychedelic light inside it, which is again very good Doctor Who, and off they all go, ignoring Bingham Too, or whatever her name is, so basically there's a showdown at the noble's house where you got Meet the Beep, and then the Doctor shows up, and then the taken over unit troops show up, and the Wrath Warriors all show up, and they all converge, and the real unit also comes together, and so they all converge on Donna Noble's house, and it's like this very big action bit. You do have a scene beforehand where it's Donna's talking about how wonderful, they have a big conversation how wonderful Rose is, that she's trans, right? It's just so wonderful. You got to be so proud of her. Is she a beautiful woman? Well, and you see somebody go, well, I don't know if she is. It's like, no, you got to think what we think, or you are evil. You must think like us. You will be like us. I mean, it really is like that. Right? This is, again, as much an advertisement for being gay, or being trans, I should say, as it is for an episode of Doctor Who. Right? And it's a propaganda film for being trans. Right? I think that's evil. Right? I think that's evil. And I'm not suddenly saying trans erasure. I am saying I think it's a very dangerous idea to indoctrinate children that this very fringe, I think it's sexual kink, is indeed a legitimate sexual identity where they could find happiness through. Right? So yeah, and I'm sorry, you want to have the conversation, we have to have the conversation. Right? I'm not the one bringing it up, and I'm not a fascist because I am bringing it up because these are legitimate conversations, right? What about the detransitions? What about the female spaces? What about female sports? Right? What about parents who don't want to raise their children to believe that transgenderism is normal? Right? And don't say, oh, they're evil. Right? It's a real question. Why am I forced to accept your worldview or be evil? Like the Muslims, though. And are all the Muslims evil? Like, see, that's the thing. Now you're caught in a trap, right? Are all the Muslims evil, right? Are all the Muslims evil? Well, all the Muslims think it's wrong. Like, I hate to be the one to tell you, every Muslim watching it is going to go, well, that's wrong, right? Literally. So are all the Muslims wrong? And all the Christians, and all the religious Jews, are they all wrong, right? And I think that's quite a lot of us, right? And why don't we matter? And why are we having this conversation in Doctor Who more often? Like what? Like why? It's not normalizing it. It's not working. Again, it's not winning anybody over. So anyway, where are we up to? So they find Meet the Beep, right? And fantastic action sequence. I mean, after the Wrath Warriors look fantastic. The whole thing is fantastic. the doctor uses his new sonic to make a cool what's it called? Shield, like a cool shield thing that will stop laser bolts and bullets coming through. Right, it makes a corridor for them to run upstairs, and they end up getting out through the attic, and they go through a series of attics till they get to the car. Yeah, I mean, again, all of that spot on, right? Real big show. And it looks like they spent a lot of money on it. It looks great. It looks fantastic, right? It does. Again, is this classic Doctor Who? Not really. Right? I'll rather the dragon at the end of Tales of Wen Chiang with the shitty laser eyes. Right? I mean, they do have a new special effects on the Blu-ray. But that's what I would rather have. Right? Because there's much more substance there. And there wasn't much substance here at all. So they what are they up to? They make it to the house, right? And then I think they make it out to the car, and they're about to go out. And I think, are they caught? I think they're caught, right? I can't remember. I think they're caught by the bad guys, and so they get taken to the, or they end up somehow where the spaceship is. Right, and they got it's all being fixed and repaired. That's why it's in a stills works and it worked there. And they're about to get zapped, I think, and they're rescued by Shirley Bingham, who's got a wheelchair now that shoots these great laser darts and other explosives, right? So they can get out. And like it's so, you know, the message. Right, that's really what it is. So the message. Oh, people in wheelchairs are people. No one's fighting with you. Right, literally no one is fighting with you. I don't know who you're having this argument with in your head. Right, I mean, okay, you know why? I'll tell you exactly why. Right. Because there's a basic basic reality that you don't like.
No, there are no chicks with dicks, Johnny. Only guys with tits.
And honestly, that's what we all think. I hate to tell you, no matter what you tell us, that's what we all think.
Everything woke turns to shit. Okay, it's true. It's true. Look at what's happening.
Now, let's see if that's going to happen with Doctor Who. So, what's going on here? Mark Kavanagh, though, loved it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Deep feels, but please, Russell, I understand that people have an issue with trans surgery on teens. The long-term effects are still, no, and maybe not make that your central bloody theme on top of all this really great Doctor Who. How does it indoctrinate? Oh, it's because it's called propaganda, right? It's when you present a reality, but you spend a very skewed, one-sided version of this reality that doesn't really reflect. It doesn't reflect at all, but more reflects what you want it to, right? Again, it opens up massive questions about, but massive societal questions about transgenderism. That's really the problem. Is it something that could be implemented on a mass basis? I think no. Right? Is it a kink or is it an identity? Right? I don't know that. You don't know the answer to that. I don't think it's racist to ask that. Right? Why is it prejudice to ask that? Like, you know, you have. It's like, why are you forcing your belief in me? So yeah, okay. Why is it propaganda? It's the Father Stu example. Do you remember? I said this at the beginning. Remember, if you had a companion called Father Stu, a Catholic priest who was just a good guy, and everybody loved Father Stu. Father Stu was the best, right? And they and he kept giving Christian lessons that were really apt, and they were very nice, and they worked properly. That's what indoctrination looks like. You're using something as a platform to sell an ideology, right? That's what indoctrination looks like, right? And I don't think it is true this is good for all children, right? I really don't. Meanwhile, Dr. Harry said the chicken and ball eyes are people too. They have a different arms and legs. Oh, no, the chicken and ball eyes are from the excellent season 14. First episode debut tonight. If you want some real Doctor Who, head over there. Dr. Alex, do you have the link? Can you put it into the chat? Yeah, see if I can put it up. A second. Hang on. I'll go over here. I got to find Dr. Alex. Doink. But yeah, I mean, as I pulled up YouTube, right? The special effects just absolutely fantastic, right? I mean, really genuinely fantastic. They had a making of video I saw on the homepage. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. I found it. We want a real Doctor Who. Go check out that season 14. Freaking awesome. Do I have a season 14 here? Yes, I do. 1 second. Chapter 6 is written by a very sexy rabbi, if I may say so. Season 14. Anyway, first chapter. Link in the chat. Go and enjoy that. It's better than this. Absolutely, it genuinely is. It's a planet of the Alpha Centaurus. It's kind of fun. Anyway, so they're in the metalworks, and they're rescued by Shirley Ann Bingham. And what happens? They head out again. It turns out that Meep is actually evil. And you have evil Meep, which again, the change of that is brilliant. It's very obvious it's coming, but the way they do it is very good. The evil Meep looks excellent. I think this is a great realization of Beat the Meep. Right, you know, all that works a lot. Again, this is Christmas Day Doctor Who, right? It's big, it's frothy, it's fun, it's kind of thick, right? It's not that intelligent, right? This is Christmas Day Doctor Who. So, I'm sure I missed out. I got to rewatch it, but I'm sure I missed out something. So you have Beep the Meep, and what happens? You have Evil Beep, and they have to get. First they have to get into the spaceship to because okay, fine. I remember that the whole plot point. The Evil Beep has this thing they're going to take off, and the spaceship uses a dagger drive, which is going to incinerate London, right? So the Doctor has to go. I remember this. Right. The Doctor has to go in and turn it off. And Donna's been remembering who the Doctor is all the way through. And eventually says she sends them all her family, Rose and her husband and Sylvia, her mother, off to safety. They get them at least 10 miles away because it's going to burn up everything in a 5-mile radius, like really destroy London if it takes off. And then she said, but what are you going to say? Well, the whole world depends on it. I got to go and help the Doctor. And she never knew he was called the Doctor up until now. So she's clearly remembering everything, right? So they, so this giant drive is starting up. The evil Meep is brilliant at being evil. He's like, I'm going to decide which one of you are going to eat first. There's a really stupid bit. That's why I'm forgetting it. There's a really dumb bit that I hated. Right. Okay. So after the Doctor gets away from the fight between Beat the Meep and Race, I can't believe I forgot this piece of shit. This is the real piece of shit. That's why. After the Doctor gets away from the Wraith Warrior, the Wrath Warriors, and Beat the Meep, he calls them all together for a court case of a type because he worked out that the Wrath Warriors aren't killing the unit people; they're making them unconscious, and they seem to be good people. And what's going on here? So he calls together in the parking lot and he puts on this judge's wig, and it's just stupid, right? It's annoyingly stupid. Like it's just like it fails. That's a fail, right? I didn't find that charming in any way, shape, or form. I didn't find it charming because it wasn't. Yeah, essentially, it wasn't very charming. It was just annoying, right? It was dumb and annoying. So from that he has a court case with the Wrath Warriors. Wrath Warriors look awesome. I'm like, you can't overplay how freaking awesome they look. They look awesome, right? They do. They look absolutely fantastic. You have so they say no. The Meeps are the most awful people ever. They've eaten the council or whatever. So then Meep turns evil and he pulls out a gun and he shoots both of them. So there's that's what we're up to. The Doctor and Donna have to go to the spaceship to turn off this dagger drive, or it's going to destroy all of London. Right, 90 million people, or 9 million people will die, or something like that. So he starts working on all the switches, blah, 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 blah. And then there's a wall that comes between them. Right, so contrived. Right, another wall with this Doctor, like a see-through wall. And he said, "Yeah, we could do it." He doesn't want her to remember, because he remembers, she'll burn up and he'll die or something, right? And then he realizes basically the only chance is if he does remove the block and she remembers everything, right? And he thinks it's going to kill her. Right, and she says, "Well, do it anyway. We need to save Rose. It's our only chance." Right, so he says all these number of words, and the last one's binary, and she's like, binary, and she's like, I see it all now, and she has like this regeneration flash, but then she's okay, and then they work together. She's not very good at doing the technobabble, bless her. She's not very good. But they work together in stopping the Beat the Meep takeoff. But she lies, she's about to die, right? And then somehow they're saved, and Beat's about to take over anyway, or do something, I can't remember. But they're saved by a mysterious set of hands and a bunch of switches doing stuff. And it's Rose. Rose will save the day. Now, how she saved the day? Because the last word in the sequence is binary, right? And she had too much energy into one person, but as she had a child, it went into second, and it went from binary to non-binary. That's why Rose is non-binary, binary, non-binary, non-binary. And being non-binary saved the world, because otherwise it would have blown up and killed all of London, or some. I know. They were screaming the message too loudly for me to hear. Right? It's so good to be trans. Oh, if only you could be trans too. Right, and that really was the message. The message. Oh, and everything was saved from her being trans. Oh, wonderful. That's how she chose her name as Rose. So then, what happens then? So then, apparently Wolf is still alive, but now he's in an old age home because he can't manage the stairs. So then eventually you see the new TARDIS. Well, did I mention the new TARDIS sequence was great? So you need to see the new TARDIS, and it was a big room, right? I'm sorry, I don't see this as being so fucking amazing. I really don't. Right? Yeah, it's okay, but like, oh, I see that. I thought there was lots of doors there. It must be that's the only door out. I thought these other doors go other places. I mean, I kind of like the console, the retroness of it. It's okay. It's just like, it's a big room, mate. I thought there was going to be something else going on inside the big room. No, it's just a big room. How is this so hard to imagine? I don't understand. I mean, like, it's like you built this up a lot, right? You built this up a lot, and this is what we ended up with. Like, okay, let me pull out the one the artist made up. The I can't remember the name of them. But yeah, we go transform scale. So I'll take my branding off it. I won't be a dick about it. Unlike me, I won't be a dick. Of course I will. If I can, I will. Yeah, 1 second. Sport. Fine. Let me just see if I can find that now. Oh, everything is difficult. Nothing is easy, right? Nothing is. So yeah, I don't know. It's just, to me, it seems very underwhelming. Yeah, so that was the fan work, trying to work out what it was. It looks like they pretty much nailed it 100%, doesn't it? Right? I mean, that, other than it's a bit better. But look, it's yeah, they nailed it 100%. I am sorry, except theirs is better. Yeah, theirs is way better. Yeah, you got the TARDIS console right. How is it? I mean, I understand. How is this so impossible? They really nailed it, blimey. So they see the console anyway, and yeah, I quite like. There's no explanation about. I guess that's next week's Doctor Who magazine, right? There's no explanation of why the console was changing. It was regenerating and that. But it was. And then it has a coffee maker, and Donna spills coffee in it, causing a giant explosion in the TARDIS. Have you seen anything on Twitter and from the official Doctor Who? Do you have any good stills? Look. It's there's a video of the TARDIS. I don't know. No, there's not. So anyway, and then they go off in a weird type of regeneration, which looks like they're going off into a different reality, right? Which is probably where they're going to bump into the toy maker. And that's how it's going to be in the final episode. Yeah, look, again, these guys nailed it. Like, so much. Like, the fake one, the real one. Jesus, that's really nailing it. And the lights light up different colors depending on stuff going on. Whatever. Again, RIP hashtag RIP Doctor Who is trending. I wonder if it's still trending. Let's have a look. No, is it gone? Oh, it's gone. That's a shame. That was funny. It's I wonder. Let's do a quick look at the hashtag Doctor Who, see if people like it. I'm not trans, I'm not disabled, and in 18 minutes, Doctor Who anniversary managed to represent both communities in a nuanced, positive way. No, they didn't. While still maintaining a realistic understanding of what it means to you. They really didn't. That's the thing. So, so they just made the episode up as they went along. Let me share the screen. Oh, no. Again, this is real-time reactions. Could be anything, right? Could be anything. Let's see what Twitter has to say. Hang on. So I'm guessing BBC were in a big hurry when making the episode of Doctor Who. So instead of a script, they just made it up as they went along, and they purchased stop music called "Sounds of the Elevator." Forced me to watch Doctor Who. What a load of shit. Okay. The fact that Beat the Meat was played by Mironga is everything. I mean, that was one of the best things, wasn't it? Listen, I'm really a fan of Rusty David. However, that was the biggest anticlimax of the year. What a load of console. Can we go back in time and try again? Well, we will next week. Donna is back. I agree with you. Oh, let me guess. I haven't read the comment yet, but I think this person of a LGBTQIA plus persuasion may be really absolutely on board for it, right? So I think they've nailed down the 3% of the population, less about 1.5% population. Absolutely love hashtag Doctor Who, funny, nostalgic, heartwarming, and shed more than a few tears in a certain part. And then to come and see the TERFs losing their minds over the talk of pronouns and how ludicrous they are. Don't let the TARDIS door hit you on the leg. See, that's the sort of shitty, nasty thing you can expect from shitty, nasty people, right? Why is it you need to exclude those not like you? Like, why are you so shallow? Why are you so nasty? Honestly, why are you such a nasty person? Right? It seems strange, right? You seem like a genuinely vindictive, nasty person. Well, again, this doesn't make you seem that you think it makes you seem good. Look at this? It's disgraceful. It makes you think it seems good. It's really genuinely disgraceful. Wow, what a real lack of character, right? That's just a lack of character. 15 years since Donna Noble. Love the double back. I love the new orchestrated thing. Theme I thought was a bit myth. Yeah, look, okay, it's a big room. Man, those boys really nailed it. It's a big room. Okay. Is that a screen grab or is that a I can't tell. I mean, honestly, I prefer the McGann cut TARDIS quite a long way. Evil Beat look great. I liked Evil Beat. Wolf was mentioned. Doctor Who time, second baby's mission said, I missed you. Good for you. Everything he wanted to be. That's oh look, they got an LGBTQIA flag in the title. Whatever it is about Doctor Who time, it was the first time in ages. All my 3 kids sat down and watched. It was pretty much like, well, that's very good. I have to tell you, that's one of the best approbations you can get, right? Me turning off Doctor Who at a care home I work so I can watch it in peace at home. Okay. So I don't know. TERF Meltdown, another one. That's the thing. How do you feel this is a TERF Meltdown? I'm sorry, I don't share your views. Why do you find that intolerable? Honestly, why do you find it impossible to coexist with people who don't share your views? That's just weird, right? That's very strange. Yeah, I don't get it, right? It's weird. It's like the people who love Palestinians, like there's so much projection going on in those Palestinian marches, right? Where they're screaming they hate Jews for being awful and immoral because they know that the Palestinians, that Hamas did what they say the Jews did, right? They know that they have that lack of morality and history, so they project back onto it. I just don't know how well it's going. I'm intrigued to see how it goes down, right? I am genuinely intrigued to see how it goes down. I don't know. I think any negative press, they're gonna really, really like it, right? Yeah, I just think again, I think they're gonna pretty much but yay, people are complaining about it. We did our job. Well, no, maybe people should just like it. I'll be intrigued to see how it went down, right? That's the thing. Like the guy said, all 3 kids watched it and liked it. Very good approbation. It's very, very strong, right? I don't know. Fine. I think I'm going to wrap it up. Join me tomorrow night. We will do we'll do a wrap up of the week. Blimey. We had the Daffodil sketch, we had the Daleks, and we had this new episode. It's kind of blown my mind what's gone down, right? So I think that's the plan, ladies and gentlemen. I think the plan is going to wrap up. It's 11:45 to me tonight. So do go over and check over Dan's channel. That's certainly what I'm going to be doing now. Then I'll go to bed. All right, thank you for joining me tonight. Wow, that's a bit of a nutball world we live in. They're going to hit the end broadcast.